Conscious Life, no, oh, I'm sorry, the Alien event. The Conscious Life Expo was 2 months ago. All right, I'm going back in time. I'm definitely not in the 3D anymore. So I'm going to be at the Sonosta Hotel at the Biomed Alien event. And it's going to be cool. I'm going to be speaking, I think, on all the panels. And with that, okay, let's get right. Oh, another thing. One last thing. And that was that a quick update on the transitioning into the higher dimensions. During the lunar eclipse a few days ago, on the 13th and 14th, at the peak of the blood moon, the Guardian Alliance, or let's just call them the Guardian races, decided to use that opportunity to bring in tons of cosmic currents that were actually penetrating the core of the Earth in order to activate the crystalline structure, which is connected to the Q quantum financial system. Okay, and not to mention, it is what's going to precipitate us into the 4th Earth reality, where everything comes to light. Okay, we're not skipping the 4th reality, but some of us are going to be able to go into the 5th, and then of course it's going to be fascinating how all of these dimensions, just as in the days of Atlantis, are once again going to coexist, allowing superhumans with average humans and all kinds of different levels of amazing superhuman abilities. So, all right, let's get right into the Y-Hat Alliance updates. So, as you guys know, we're standing, before I get into the geopolitical drama, let's just call it theatrics, the final, you could say, play that is now going to be unfolding, right, as we end the Kali Yuga, and a lot of this also corresponds to the ending of many cycles. But as you guys know, we are standing on the precipice of the greatest revelation in human history, which I believe, when the JFK files, and Trump did announce that tomorrow those JFK files are going to be released to the general public. So as a result of that, guys, the truth about who we are eventually, sometime, as they continue to reveal more information, it's not just going to be the corruption, what really took place with these events, but the truth of who we are, guys, okay? I want you guys to sit with that for a while, because we've been lied to regarding where we come from, who we are, where we're here, and where we're heading. Pretty much everything we've ever learned through conventionalism has been designed to keep us away from our true origin, okay? So the truth about who we are, where we come from, and what has been hidden from us, which is the true meaning of apocalypse, is preparing to break free from the shadows. So apparently, for centuries, or may I say for millennia, the world has been controlled by this dark force, right? And they operate through deception. But now that the veils are lifting, the hidden forces that have manipulated humanity through secrecy and illusion, and this also kind of ties into the fact that, as I revealed in The Secret Government, the book behind me, that this time would come where there would be an end to all secret societies, okay? The ending of secret societies is the beginning of the golden age, guys, okay? So every system that we've ever known, from governments, which have been all penetrated and controlled by these brotherhoods, media, finance, religion, and science, has apparently operated within a framework designed to keep us unaware, are you guys ready for this, of our true power, okay? And this is why I believe organized religion was a huge tool of manipulation designed by the fallen Anunnaki when they took over the affairs of our planet. So very soon, all right, beginning with what's going to be revealed this year, 2025, humanity will once again have access to advanced technologies that existed in epochs ago, like during the times of Atlantis, hidden knowledge, suppressed history, or you could get first dibs by reading The Secret Government and Our Cosmic Origin, but of course, the entire suppressed history, including what really happened with Tartaria, and the real origins of the Earth, right? All of that's coming to light, guys. This is the time of transparency as we go into the 4th Earth. So, the exposure of corruption and the 5th Earth, but again, we're going to be going into the 4th Earth sometime in the next, they say, spring equinox, and a lot of that has to do with astrology, in conjunction with, of course, the maximum peak of, you could say, solar maximum, which will, again, many believe is going to be very comparable or even 10 times more stronger than the CME that knocked out the telegram in 1871 that was known as the Carrington event. The Carrington event. So the exposure of corruption, beginning with the revelation of the JFK files tomorrow. Yes, the revelation of extraterrestrial contact is also underway. This is great news, guys, right? The understanding of our multi-dimensional evidence, all of that will shatter the old paradigm and usher in a new heaven on earth, okay? This is more than just a moment in time. It is a quantum shift in human consciousness. So the illusion of division, of fear, of scarcity, apparently will be replaced with one of love, abundance, and coexisting with one another. So humanity will finally be stepping as a result of what's going to be released. And as we go into spring and then summer, guys, it's going to be one thing after another. Humanity will be finally stepping into its divine potential. And a lot of this has a lot to do with the RVs, okay? The GCR is very, very real. The gold, which was then preserved by the White Knights, as I used to call them, the alliance that can be traceable back to Solomon, is very, very real. And eventually, humanity will be reclaiming its sovereignty and embracing the future for what it has been, for what has always been meant for us, in other words, okay? So I hope you guys are all having a good day. I will get into another breakdown as to what the White Hats are doing with Trump. As I speak right now, I do just want to say hello to everyone. I see Leslie Cunley-like, Starlight, Joanna, Margarita DeRicher. I see Edward Kasarjan in the house, Gabriella F., Josephine Lynch, Nancy, Andromeda Daisy, Leah Star, I believe, Simone S., Ricky Lee. Okay, let's get into the Galactic Report. Let's get into what the White Hats are doing in the exposure of what's going to be revealed to the general public. So basically what's happening in America, guys, isn't just a political shift. It's not just a policy shift, in other words. It is a full-blown takedown of an operation, okay, that has been in existence, since the times of the Roman Empire. Let's just say Rome never fell. They just reorganized, okay? So, under President Donald J. Trump and his new executive orders with military precision, it has been stated that as of the 10th of March, 2025, which was exactly 7 days ago, the dismantling of the deep state's most toxic instruments, the DEI, the gender identity distortion, and critical race indoctrination is not only underway, but it's already here, okay? So Trump is not just reversing Brandon's disastrous agenda, okay, which of course we know was run by Obama, but he's also exposing what it really was all along, okay? This is going to be headlines pretty soon. A deep state psychological warfare operation to fragment society, And that's what they've been doing, right? Through division, we conquer them, okay? So, of course, not only fragment society, but to destroy biological truth and create a compliant, programmable population devoid of identity, national pride, and critical thinking, okay? It's almost like they want us to operate as a mind hive where they control everything, or like robots, okay? So this was part of the end game of the reorganized Holy Roman Old Guard, as I would call it now. But that plan has apparently collapsed, okay? The man that they tried to erase is now, which is Trump, is now one doing the erasing. And he's not just, undoing the damage, guys. He's actually vaporizing its roots, okay? So this is going to go really deep. We've pretty much, I'm going to be quoting Trump. He did say this on X. He says, "We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies across the entire federal government, our military, so our country will no longer be woke any longer." Okay, so this is what he said on March the 3rd, 2025, just about 2 weeks ago. So it is obviously a coordinated assault against the infrastructure of control. This is what's going to be revealed to the public, where DEI programs acted as camouflage for mass data collection, right? AI-based social engineering and financial behavior scoring as well that they've been using, right? This wasn't about equality, guys. It was about surveillance, and we could think Edward Snowden for that, right? It was about surveillance, submission, and the classification of humans into caste under a one world digital control. So this was going to be the end game of the reorganized Roman Empire under a new name. Of course, we call him today the globalist. So Trump knew it all along, of course, and the people behind him. And now he's actually turning the tide, or they're using him to turn the tide. So apparently they know that the DEI program was never about diversity. It was a Trojan horse for globalist social control. So Trump's team has declassified internal documents from within the Brandon DEI, within the Brandon DEI office, a nest of operatives linked to the World Economic Forum backed NGOs. Okay, so foreign intelligence firms and technocratic think tanks, apparently. That's who is behind all of this and has been. These entities were behind the infiltration of federal hiring systems, shaping digital HR protocols to prioritize race, gender identity, and behavioral compliance over competence and loyalty to the Constitution. All this is going to come out, okay? Trump's latest executive orders have deleted these corrupted algorithms and restored hire based solely on merit and service to the Republic. And restored hiring, based solely on merit and service to the Republic. So apparently, Mr. T's executive orders have deleted these corrupted algorithms to restore with people that, are fair, meet the merit, and are serving the Republic. And agencies caught enforcing those that were working for these woke people, hiring quotas, are already being audited, right? And thanks to Doge, and dozens of personnel with known ties to globalist think tanks have been quietly removed or indicted, okay? And what the media won't tell you is that these DEI programs were synchronized with private military contracting firms, right? Well, go figure. These are the same firms that helped secretly finance what we call the secret space programs, okay? Placing ideological operatives inside defenses, aerospace, and critical infrastructure sectors. This is what Doge discovered, guys. This is what Doge discovered. So what is the goal? Well, to sabotage, what was their goal, rather, the cabal's goal? According to what Doge discovered, it was to sabotage the Republic from within under the mask of equity, okay, of equity. So Trump apparently has neutralized this infiltration, right? Completely reversed it. He's cutting off funding, blacklisting foreign aligned recruiters, and declassifying the full operational structure of the DEI industrial complex, okay? And it's just beginning. This is just going to be the beginning. So it was a counterintelligence all along operation designed to collapse the American identity by fracturing little ones' understanding of their heritage, biology, and moral compass, okay? Trump has always known this truth, right? The CRT was imported directly from post-Marxist psychological warfare strategies, tested in color revolution campaigns across Eastern Europe, and refined by CIA adjacent academia. It was weaponized under Obama, okay, embedded into federal educational protocols under Brandon, and used to profile little ones based on ideological alignment by the age of 6. Right? Well, now that program is no longer in existence, okay? Thanks to the executive orders from Mr. T. Mr. T has signed an order banning CRT at all levels, public and private, including universities. The curriculum has been declared a national security threat, and criminal investigations have begun into school districts that continue to deploy it after the executive orders. Well, Trump's boldest, you could say, move yet, the official redefinition of gender in federal law, right? Male and female, right? Nothing else, right? No spectrum, no identity fiction, male and female. So this decision is not just symbolic, it is a full spectrum of response to an elite engineered psychological attack on the population. Wow, I wonder how the public's going to take all this when they find out the truth about everything. This is just going to be the beginning. So the gender identity movement was never grassroots. It was orchestrated to think tanks tied to pharmaceutical giants surveillance conglomerates, and psychological operational Tories. Let's just call them LABS. So the goal is to break down the human body sanctity. That was their goal. Dissolve the family structures and usher in a technocratic, transhumanist future. I've always known that the cabal was always aiming, or whose endeavors were to bring about the technocratic dystopia that I refer to as a negative timeline. Okay, so apparently, it's not going to be happening in our timeline anymore. Yeah, so apparently, they want to dissolve the family structure and usher in a technocratic transhumanist future where our DNA, our gender, and soul are up for sale. Okay, so this was the end game, guys. Okay, this was the end game. This is exactly how AI takes over planets. Again, this is not unique to this world. For those that have been following me, this has been an issue that has prevailed and existed across many worlds throughout the universes. So, Trump has been cutting off that pipeline from its roots. So that's a good thing, right? He cited the horrifying case of Peyton McNabb, the young female athlete whose life was shattered when a biological male individual posing as a trans woman was allowed to compete, and nearly killed her with a spiked volleyball. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but another thing I wanted to make clear here is that there are different stepping stones that these forces use in order to get people to comply to what is known as the transhumanist agenda, right? The integration with technology. So the stepping stone that leads into that was what the far left woke, globalist deep state have been doing, which is to create an environment where, they, of course, teach the little ones at an early age, or at least encourage them that it's okay in order to get the majority eventually in about 20 to 30 years. It's a long-term plan. Once they have enough of the population, just changing their genders, they would be more willing to, at that point, merge with the technology. Okay, if you can confuse a population about what they are, as far as them being female or male, at that point, then you could easily convince them. So it's a stepping stone. That's what I'm trying to say. Transgenderism is a stepping stone into transhumanism. Why didn't I just say it like that instead of just going around in circles? All right, so this is an ongoing scenario that has occurred on many, many worlds across the universes as well, guys. But it's not going to be happening in our reality anymore, okay? So I'm sure you guys have heard of Peyton McNabb, right? The young female athlete whose life was shattered when a biological male, who was allowed to compete, nearly killed her with a spiked volleyball. I mean, this went viral, guys. This wasn't just an isolated incident. It was part of a coordinated campaign to erase women, destabilize competitive fairness, and inject chaos into schools. All right, let's continue. So from then on, okay, any school that defies Trump's executive orders will lose federal funding and be subjected to legal prosecution for engendering kids through state-sponsored identity delusion. So this is not politics. It is a strategic national liberation, you could say, right? Trump has already signed nearly 100 executive orders and 400 executive actions in just 43 days. And that's not just governance, right? That's emergency restoration of the constitutional republic. So from behind the scenes, there's a coordinated alliance, military loyalists, right? Constitutional lawyers, forensic auditors, due to what Doge uncovered, right? And civilian intelligence units that is assisting in this operation. Every corrupt federal nod tied to the DEI and the CRT, or gender identity operation, is being tracked, dismantled, and in many cases ceased, okay? So assets are being frozen, contractors are being terminated, and then data servers confiscated. So the American dream is unstoppable now. I mentioned this before. When he talks about the golden age, he's not just talking about the golden age of America. He's talking about Gesera, which is going to lead into the golden age of planet Earth. Okay, so that's what he's definitely talking about. This isn't just about prosperity, guys. It's about rescuing the spiritual core of the nation and ultimately the world at large from psychological warfare from these globalists, right? cultural disintegration, and globalist programming. So Trump has already nullified Brandon's green agenda. That's another thing that happened, right? Exposing it for what it really is. And many believe that there is a connection between the green agenda and the weather modification, cloud seeding, and all that stuff that we see in the skies. They're all interconnected, okay? So Mr. T has already nullified Brandon's contracts or deals with these people. So exposing it for what it really is, and a shell operation to crash America's energy independence, push smart grid surveillance. This was what Brandon's administration was going to lead us to. They were going to, build a massive smart grid surveillance where every city was going to be a smart city, and then roll out some sort of a carbon-based control system, very similar to the social credit system as practiced in China, that would apparently enslave the middle class under digital climate credits. So that's what that would have been also connected to what the globalists called the central digital currency, right? The global central digital currency, which is what Klaus Schwab has been talking about when he talks about the Great Reset. But it's been flipped on them now. Okay, their Great Reset is no longer going to be a reality. In other words, so the plan is now that plan is dead. Okay, that plan is dead. Trump has reopened energy pipelines, reauthorized coal and gas production, and ordered the dismantling of international environmental accords designed to bankrupt sovereign nations. And there's a reason why he's using coal right now and gas, because there is an untapped, you could say, reservoir of oil that we haven't even tapped into. But he's using that as a temporary, you could say, way of accessing resources. But the truth of the matter is that when the QFS comes on, he's going to use that as an excuse to then bring forth the free energy devices, because Trump does know about the free energy devices, by the way. So in that regard, he's kind of playing dumb. Okay. So apparently the New World Order has been hijacked. Okay, that's the great news. And the reset, the Great Reset, is not going to be one, again, of digital control. It's going to be one of freedom. Okay, it's going to be different. This isn't just about what happened in 2016, right? This is the birth of something far more powerful. So apparently, this is the final purge, for those that have been indicted, and this will no longer be compromised. Like I said at the beginning of this live, they're planning on releasing the JFK files tomorrow, which is going to set the dominoes in motion for more stuff to come out. So another thing I wanted to share with you guys is that Mr. T also personally delivered a major update on the, let's just call it the island files and the JFK files, announcing that the island files are also going to be released in a few weeks. That's pretty cool, okay? He reveals that after his executive order, the FBI suddenly uncovered 2,000 JFK-related files. Wow, that is a lot. And despite any obstacles, Trump assures that every file will be made public. So Trump looks very confident here. Apparently he's things are going to be unfolding very, very fast, guys. Meanwhile, back in Europe, going back with the conflict that's been going on there, again instigated and promoted by the globalists, French President Emmanuel Macron has announced plans to mobilize civilians in response to Russian aggression. So he stated that the officials are now exploring ways to put the strategy into action. Macron and Zelensky, I don't know if you guys saw that video, it's going viral on social media where they're like shaking hands, and I mean, these guys look like they're almost, partners, if you know what I mean. Macron and Zelensky have a very special relationship. Okay, well, go figure. Anyways, just 24 hours after President Trump named Mark Elias as one of the key figures behind the DOJ's weaponization against him. Okay. He did say that he was going to get into the bottom of that. Elias has mysteriously wiped his entire X account as a result of that. So Mark Elias, Hillary Clinton's former lawyer, by the way, I should just call her the witch, and architect of the Russian collusion hoax, was a top figure at Perkins Coie until 2021. Well, go figure. And deviating a little bit out of the subject, going back to the idea that the end game of this, of these agendas is to merge humanity with the machine, right? To create this transhumanist, post-human era. Well, one of these, you could say, sold her soul to the devil celebrities by the name of Kim Kardashian has been taking desperations to new heights, now pushing the normalization of human-robot relationships. In her latest magazine spread, apparently Kim Kardashian, within the last week, was promoting, having relationships with robots. Like, okay, well, she's actually pushing it for them, right? She's pushing the idea of robotics to the general public, so that people can get accustomed and be okay with, eventually coexisting with robots. Okay, she's treating it like a real partner. All right, in this video, like she really treats it like a partner. Like she's letting girls know, hey guys, if human man can't make you happy, you could actually get with a robot man. Kim Kardashian, guys, out of all people, she's promoting this. Okay, she's going on drives with it, snapping intimate photos with it, and even cuddling with it. I mean, how sick can this get? And people see, and people will look at this and be like, well, if Kim Kardashian is okay with that, her fans, maybe it's okay to do that. Anyways, so all of this happened while she wore her, I guess it's called the Balenciaga clothing line. Balenciaga, which sounds to me like it's very cabal. All right, moving forward, guys, moving forward. In terms of what's happening, what happened? There was an event that happened, you could say, in the skies of Pakistan. This could have been an interdimensional event. It was all over the alternative news, but it appeared that a massive fireball meteor blazed across the sky in Pakistan. This happened about a week ago, leaving citizens confused and questioning what they had just witnessed. Well, again, a lot of this is going to be going into the idea that pretty soon, a lot of massive UFOs are going to be appearing worldwide. I've been talking about this, and I think that's going to be happening very, very soon. And that is going to speed up the disclosure project, by the way. So, President Donald J. Trump, alongside, I'm going to go back into what's going on with the White Hats, alongside a coalition of loyal military operatives, has intensified direct action assaults against elite-controlled. Oh, okay. Well, this is good because, the elites have been still developing medbeds in secret. The White Hats just discovered massive secret installations of these worldwide. And it is believed that classified sources have confirmed that the existence of multiple coordinated strikes operations across Europe and South America and Asia, led by U.S. Special Forces under Trump's command. Well, let's see. Going back to the medbeds, let's talk about the medbeds. Okay, so apparently, between the 26th of February, all right, and this has a lot to do with a lot of medbeds that have been recuperated by the Alliance. Okay, over 300 medbeds liberated, right, in just 2 weeks. Okay, so between February 26 and March 10, over 300 medbeds have been seized from elite compounds, dumps, also known as deep underground military bases, and biotech bunkers, many of which were operating under foreign intelligence cover. Well, one recent extraction took place beneath a former NATO bioresearch facility in Norway, which was covertly housing 30 next-gen regenerative medbeds, enhanced with extraterrestrial nanoplasma tech. Very interesting. Again, a lot of the disclosure and the rolling out of these advanced modalities corresponds with first contact and the introduction of advanced races to humanity. Okay, so the beds were surrounded by armed AI defense systems, but U.S. Delta forces breached the compound. So apparently the cabal were using advanced AI systems to surround, these beds, right? But the U.S. Delta forces breached the compound in under 7 minutes. Well, that's fascinating. Again, we are fighting a war with AI. Another major operation in Patagonia, Argentina, revealed a massive underground elite sanctuary where medbeds were reportedly used to genetically enhance globalist heirs, right, their descendants, while denying the public even the basic healing protocols. Okay. This is going to piss people off when this comes out, because Trump's forces are neutralizing the site. and recovered not only the med beds, apparently he did, past tense, he did neutralize the site, and recovered the med beds, but also encrypted the encrypted data logos. Oh, sorry, but also encrypted data logs detailing planned selective DNA upgrades, reversed only for elite bloodlines. Not reversed, but reserved. Reserved only for elite bloodlines, okay? So yes, medbeds do help you or help regenerate you. I think there is a modality of a medbed that actually reverse ages you. So what's coming out of these raids is shocking the world from behind the scenes. And recovered documents and live test logs show that the medbed technology was never just about healing. The elites were using it to clone their own bodies. Well, there you guys go, right? We're talking about doubles here. Edit their DNA and extend their lives far beyond natural limits. Interesting. One document recovered in Luxembourg reveals Project Celestial, a program funded by Rothschild, functions to genetically re-engineer a new ruling class immune to age, illness, and moral consciousness. Well, it sounds to me like the super race that Hitler was obsessed with building, right, based on a book that he read from Friedrich Nietzsche, that was called the Uberman, which stands for the superhuman, right? So it sounds to me like the elites were planning on using these technologies for the same reasons, okay? But there is more. Some facilities even contain children in suspended states, keep alive to extract their DNA for elite rejuvenation sessions. Oh, wow. That's going to piss a lot of people off. This confirms what whistleblowers have long warned, that the elites weren't just using medbeds, they were modifying them into tools of human experimentation and dark transhumanism. So apparently, the transhumanist agenda is well and alive and has already started within the private sector. Wow. Well, that explains why one of the whistleblowers who talked about how they're building an army of drones and robots could possibly be true. Anyways, Trump's executive war directive, signed under a quantum emergency protocol before his 2025 secret re-inauguration, so he did have two, now authorizes all medbed sites to be immediately repurposed into what insiders are calling the Quantum Healing Centers for the Republic. I like that. The Quantum Healing Centers for the Republic. Okay, so blueprints leaked from Trump's team show that over 120 of these facilities are already under fast-track construction in key U.S. cities and military zones. That's great news. All operating the supervision of special medical military units, trained in quantum physics, energetic harmonics, and, are you guys ready for this? I like this one, and interdimensional biology. Interdimensional biology, all right? For those that have been following me, only 4% of our genetic material is carbon-based. The other 96% is crystalline and double diamond and plasma. Some of it is plasma structured. It's not carbon-based, okay? Or it's called silica. Not silicone, silica. There's a difference. These centers will not only offer healing to veterans and the medically devastated, they will become education hubs for for Gesara and Nasera transition protocols and anti-deep state disclosure briefings. So apparently, these centers are going to be used for a lot of different things, not just healing humanity, right? They will become re-educational hubs for Gesara and Nasera transition protocols and anti-deep state disclosure briefings. Very fascinating. So they are going to begin training as a result of that. This is where a lot of you guys could volunteer for this. If you guys want to know how to operate a medbed, all right, they're going to be, training begins as soon as this is disclosed. They're going to give the general public an opportunity to also train in how to use these advanced healing modalities. So to operate these advanced medbeds, Trump's inner circle is launching the Quantum Resonance Corps, right? The Quantum Resonance Corps, an elite training program for future civilian healers. And operators must undergo neural wave induction training, aligning their brain waves with the bed's frequency fields for optimal DNA recalibration and soul body restoration. Okay, well, that gives us more insight as to how these beds work, right? Operators undergo neural wave induction training, aligning their brain waves with the bed's frequency fields for optimal DNA recalibration and soul body restoration. Wow, I guess this is way beyond that, and taking those HGH shots, right? Or what do they call it? MNN? You know, the anti-aging supplement nowadays. This is not medicine. This is quantum resonance, warfare against the matrix that's enslaved our biology for generations. All right. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Sources confirm that the first 7,000 medbed operators have already been activated. Okay. And are in final phase training at undisclosed military academies in Montana. For those that live in Montana, look into this. New Mexico and Idaho. New Mexico and Idaho. So in retaliation, the elite factions have launched their next psychological warfare campaign, right? Because again, you know, the AI behind the deep state is going to always try to counteract what the alliance is doing. So as a result of this, in retaliation, right, the elite factions have launched their next psychological warfare campaign, and that is known as, and I don't even know if I could say it. Well, let's see. The best way to say it is some sort of an injectable quantum, let's just call it particulate, right? Disguised as a harmless immunity booster. Let's just call it particulate. I don't really think about that one. And intel recovered in Brussels confirms that these injections contain self-assembling quantum circuitry, which can hijack a person's nervous system during a, let's see. Oh, okay. So basically, what the cabal did in the beds that they were hiding from the Alliance, remember, the Alliance are recuperating a new batch of medbeds worldwide in newly discovered underground bases. So basically, what they're saying is that the cabal included injections that were self-assembling quantum circuitry, which can hijack a person's nervous system during a medbed session. And so the Y hats had to neutralize that part of the medbed from, you know, the medbeds that they recuperated, and by Trump's, of course, you know, cleared tech teams. So apparently, Trump was given a team of tech like technology, to completely neutralize the self-assembling quantum circuitry, as I call them, the particulates that were inside the medbeds that were supposed to go in people's bodies. Okay, so that's good news. Okay, so apparently these medbeds were pretty much booby-trapped, right? Knowing, you know, the deep state knew that the White Hats were going to recuperate them, so they were booby-trapped, and the Alliance had to neutralize them. Okay, that's very good. I would hate to use a medbed and have these nanoparticulates take over my nervous system. I mean, come on, think about that. Okay, so these are not just, you know, let's just call them what happened in 2019, or 20 rather. They are digital shackles, right, designed to turn the healing experience into a data extraction trample. That was part of the cabal's agenda, to actually release the medbeds eventually, but with this thing inside it, so that they could pretty much pursue their transhumanist agenda under the guise of you're going to be healed, okay? And this is why Trump's military teams now conduct what is known as the quantum cleansing protocols. The quantum cleansing protocols before any medbed is used for anyone, okay? So apparently they're neutralizing the situation under what is called the quantum cleansing protocols. So the White Hats are on it. And some medbeds labs discovered recently were fully automated and controlled by rogue AI systems. Okay, so they're revealing what was in these medbeds that they've uncovered that they retook from the cabal. Okay, this is interesting. Some medbed labs discovered recently were fully automated and controlled by rogue AI systems programmed to deny access to unauthorized DNA patterns. Okay, this is a pretty, this is pretty malicious. Anyways, the medbeds were quoted to recognize elite bloodlines only. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So and the reason they were coded to recognize the elite bloodlines is that so that they don't inject the nanoparticulates in them and, you know, take over the nervous system. So apparently the cabal used this technology for evil, okay? During a raid in northern Italy, this is changing the subject. Oh, no, actually, this is actually also in regards to the medveds that were recuperated by the White Hats. So during a raid in northern Italy, Trump's team encountered an AI-controlled chamber that attempted to electrically incinerate the beds before retrieval. Okay, interesting, interesting. So those were also booby-trapped. A last-second EMP blast neutralized the AI. The White Hats are smart. Thank God they did that. Otherwise, it would have been done with. Oh, those that were there, of course. But this marks a dangerous new phase in the war. AI sabotage, again, you know, AI's been used in this war between good and evil for a long, long time. AI sabotage and counter ops from rogue quantum networks. Trump's cyber command units have now launched Operation Etherstorm. Right? They just launched Operation Etherstorm, which is an AI decapitation strike against, it's a strike campaign against remaining deep state code nodes scattered in Vatican tech vaults. Well, that's a good thing, okay? Underground UN labs as well, not just the Vatican, and of course Antarctica relay stations. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to do one last house sweep, right? Kind of like when you go back to your hotel room to just make sure that, you know, you didn't leave anything behind. So that's what the White Hats are doing right now. Let's see. Trump's ultimate objective isn't just healing, it's liberation, okay? Sources did confirm that mass deployment of medbeds is being coordinated alongside the final Gesera global currency reset. Each person will be given free healing. A lot of you guys have been waiting for this. So it sounds like it's going to be happening very, very soon. Financial reset access, and full debt relief. And so everything is connected, right? Everything's going to be connected. We're going to have the QFS rollout with the quantum healing modalities, the Gesera funding, and of course, what? The reclamation of our soul after thousands of years of being enslaved to a reptilian, draconian-run, you know, oligarchy, by a reptilian, draconian-run oligarchy. According to Trump, the future is building a future without disease, without debt, and without elite control. So yeah, apparently Trump knows about the medbeds, and he has for a long, long time. Let's be real here. So basically, the White Hats are saying, prepare for medbed action, disclosure, and yeah, this is it. They believe, okay. Oh yeah, another thing. Trump's team will not allow any corrupt, one of the people that have been that, or mind-controlled individuals to operate these medbeds or exploit them any further, okay? Let's see, there's another thing that I wanted to share with you guys. You guys are, that will kind of sum everything up. You know, the ending of this old paradigm, guys, was an experiment that, you know, came from an off-world race. Many of you guys know what I'm talking about, but I do wanted to share this with you guys because this is going to sum up everything, okay? This is going to sum up everything. Meanwhile, I'm actually going to give you guys a shout out. Because, let's see who's here. Ray Charlin is here. Gary Pasacci is here. Lloyd Starr, Renee Lacoste, Wolfmother, Bono Bronock, Subversive is in the house. Sylvia Vidal is in the house. Starlight is in the house. Ricky Lee is in the house. And all 2,390 people. You guys are all in the house. Good to know. There's one last thing I wanted to share with you guys to like sum everything up. Because a lot of people think that we've been controlled by other humans. But no, you know, this plot, this agenda could actually be traced off-world. You know, it turns out that the humans were in turn controlled by a negative extraterrestrial race known as a reptilian race that came from Alpha Draconis. So this is a message that was actually given to me by Commander Valiant Thor, and now I can't even find this message. I always write everything down, all my notes from all my research, before I go on here and share with you guys, because there's so much to cover. And let me tell you guys, to commit all this to memory is very, very hard. Let's see. Okay, so the illusion of time was obviously used to limit humanity in their creative endeavors. With over 26,000 years of enslavement, that's how long this old paradigm has been going on for 26,000 years, okay? I mean, of course, we had several periods and moments where we had glimpses of golden ages, but, you know, right back into the dark ages, okay? So, which was, again, for 26,000 years, our planet has witnessed the control of a reptilian force that comes from another solar system, right? And there was a prophecy that their time would one day come to an end, their time to control this planet, and that the power would come back to the people, okay? So I want you guys to understand this. So preoccupying humanity's time with sports was part of the agenda, right? A lot of people ask me, well, are sports and entertainment part of the, you know, matrix designed to control you and suck in and loose your energy and suck you dry? And I'm like, yes, it is, okay? Also, you know, not only sports, but entertainment, believe it or not, the drinking of alcohol, okay? Television is a big one, guys. And all of this was per design, okay? Was per design by the off-world masters. Spending time looking over there and not over here, everything was connected to this off-world group, right? And most recently, it was actually reorganized and resurfaced through Operation Paperclip, okay? So for those who don't know what Operation Paperclip is, it's when the Nazis, who actually secretly won the war by virtue of having anti-gravity aircraft, you know, decided to infiltrate our government from within. That is known as Operation Paperclip, okay? So let's see, yeah. So pretty much the quick message from Valiant Thor is to let you guys know that the reptilian control of the planet was prophesied long ago, that it would actually be coming to an end at a certain period in time, and he says that time is now. That time is now. So if you guys could give me a minute, I'm actually going to go use the restroom. It's been almost an hour. I'll be right back. I do drink a lot of water. I drink about 4 of these a day, which is a little over a gallon of water a day. So I'm trying to clean out my system as much as possible by drinking good water. So this is the time for Q&A. Hello, Athena. How you doing? Are you ready for Q&A? Are you going to help me answer some questions? Yeah, I fed you twice already. Oh, wow. You must have been a hungry girl today. All right, let's see. A little bit more giving shout outs. Thomas Flip is in the house. Gary Pasusi. Who else? Ancient Ranger. Is it Ancient Ranger 2727? MJF. Pauline. Amanda Tempori. Night Star Power. Deanne Johnson. David Doctor's in the house. And, oh, I just got a super chat. This is from, is it Phaedra Guerra. Welcome, Phaedra Guerra. Welcome. Hola, Ismael. Oh, you speak Spanish. So do I. I heard Elon say on Joe Rogan last week, he did not believe it's ETs, which blew my mind, that he does not believe in ETs. Yeah, I saw that clip. I wasn't too happy with Elon either, because the truth of the matter is that Elon Musk he's an alien human hybrid, right? That's the truth of the matter. Let's see, who will fill him in on the truth? You or Dr. Stephen Guerrero? I would love to sit just for 1 hour with Elon Musk and have an intellectual conversation with him. Oh yeah, I think I would blow his mind. But again, Elon Musk is a hybrid, so I think he could have been playing dumb when he said that. Let's see. Thanks for all that you do for us. You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you. Let's see. I'm just looking for a question that I think most people want to hear, or at least have the answer to. Yeah, a lot of people are still on the fence regarding Elon, right? I see some people are for him, some people are against him, but like I said, in the end, he does work for AI, definitely. All right, well, this is good to share because this is part of the topic. This is from Joy Sabato. She says, "Hi Ishmael, I saw an ad on Facebook about med beds, and they encourage PPL to sign up to be reevaluated or to be evaluated, but there was a $300 fee. Can this be legit?" No. Oh yes, I'm so glad you brought that. No, those aren't. Med beds are supposed to be for free. Okay, if they're charging, those are imposter med beds. Don't fall for that, guys. Okay, don't fall for that. Make sure that you understand that they're free, right? You're not supposed to have no PPL. You're not supposed to pay $300. So yeah, the real med beds are going to be offered for free. Do you feel that timelines are collapsing, says Ricky Lee, 1111? Absolutely. Yes, this is what I call the convergence. We're heading into a convergence of many different parallel Earth realities, collapsing into only 3 probabilities or 3 timelines. Julie Casey saying Elon Musk 2.0 is gone. We see Y hat 2.1 Elon Musk. So you're saying he's on his 3rd upgrade, or he was replaced for the 3rd time is what you're saying. Anything is possible, okay? Anything is possible at this point. But all I know is that he is not fully human, right? He's part of an alien experiment. And to give you guys, okay, I don't even know if I should reveal this, but a name given to those that have Asperger's is a cover-up for those that are also part cybernetic. That's all I'm going to say. Somebody's saying Elon looks robotic. Well, that kind of validates what I just said. So they call it Asperger's. They always have to have a name for something. They call it Asperger's. But again, that's just a name to conceal some sort of a human-alien cybernetic hybrid all meshed into one. Which means that, yes, it manifests in the form and symptom of Asperger's when you have even 10 or 20% cybernetics in your DNA. Right? Makes a lot of sense. And that's why people with Asperger's have a hard time, you could say, getting in touch with their emotions, because of that cybernetic strain in them. All right, let's continue with questions. Ishmael, please talk in detail about life in the negative AI timeline. Maybe some skeptics. Okay. Let's see. Maybe some skeptics, scoffers will wake up. Scoofers will wake up. Okay. Well, it's a fake utopia that is going to be offered to those that do not make the organic ascension, or those that choose not to take the organic ascension, they're going to be promised immortality. And they're going to be promised, abilities, supernatural abilities, but by integrating with technology. So that's going to be the bait. And in this technocratic dystopia, which is again being created by an alien negative AI that is operating from behind the scenes. They even control the reptilians, by the way. The reptilians answer to the AI collective, negative alien AI collective. Okay, so in this dystopia, they want to pretty much use people as battery resources, very, very similar to the Matrix, where people are just, again, living in a type of system where they're they're connected to the computers. In other words, they have sensors. They're one with them, and the technologies are one, so they're cyborgs. They have no more free will. They're connected to a mind hive, and through the mind hive, the AI programs what each individual does and molds them into a position in that society while sucking up its life force. So yeah, for those that take the transhumanist pathway, they're going to end up in a world where they're pretty much going to lose their individuality, their connection to God, and ultimately be brain controlled or mind controlled, molded into becoming a certain character in society. So yeah, it's not going to be a very good thing. It's going to be very similar to the Matrix. Cyborgs sounds horrible. Yeah, it is very horrible. Hey, Dina. Being a good girl over there. Excuse me. Ishmael, what do you think of the telepathy tapes that assert people with Asperger's as telepathic? That is a very good question from S. Jerry. Well, like I said, the people that have Asperger's are part of a genetic experiment where they begin to incorporate about 20 to 30% cybernetic genetics, what is called silicon structure genes. So it's very, very possible that people with Asperger's, because of the fact that they have a super intelligence, that they're able to be telekinetic. Yes, it's very, very possible. How do you hook up with a medbed? This is a question from Ancient Ranger 2727. Very good question. When they are announced to the public, obviously they're going to be in all major hospitals. So, it's just a matter of making an appointment, calling the hospital saying, hey, I'm in need of a med bed, and they're going to probably want to do an assessment on what do you need healed. And if you have something that needs to be healed, they're going to give you an appointment, and you're going to go and you're going to get healed. Let's see. Was Star Trek science fiction? This is a question from Greg. Absolutely not. No. All sci-fi documentaries, series, movies, TV shows are here to aid the full disclosure process. Okay, they're pretty much implanting in the human's mind, the idea of an advanced futures, an advanced civilization. So no, Star Trek was not science fiction. Star Trek was actually information that was channeled to Gene Roddenberry, right? I think I mentioned this before a few lives back. And again, I do get a lot of new people every day, a few hundred people every 2 days. So I sometimes people are just getting their feet wet with all of this, and they just want to know more and more. So it's okay to ask the same questions every few weeks because it's always new people, guys. All right. So for those that have been watching me for years, you're probably thinking, God, Ishmael, you've mentioned that about 20 times. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to be fair here with everybody. And George Lucas of Star Wars 2, says John. Yes, yes, George Lucas was an insider. And you know who else was an insider, guys? C.S. Lewis, but he was on the Alliance side. C.S. Lewis, the writer of the Chronicles of Narnia, which, by the way, those movies they're very good. They're written in metaphor form, very symbolic, but the messages in those movies are really, really good. C.S. Lewis is one of my favorite writers. Yes, I've heard about the Black Eyed Club. Yes, when it comes to certain bloodlines, a lot of celebrities, politicians, I'm sure you guys have seen those pictures and videos and clippets that have been circulating online where, like, you know, they have black eyes and stuff. So yeah, I've heard of that. That is a form of initiation. That is how the globalists or the, you know, these networks, these Luciferian networks, get you to join their groups. In other words, it's you selling your soul to the devil, you know? I like Harry Potter books too, says Andromeda Daisy. They do have a lot of meaning, and yes, you know, you can learn a lot from those books and those stories. You know, it's always the same conflict, right? It's like all about the hero's journey when you think about it. When you watch movies like anything like that, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, they all have the same rhetoric. They all have the same theme, which is what? The hero's journey, right? Using the abilities for good, light versus dark. I mean, it's all the same concept. This is one of my Spanish Galactic Jedi, Sully Pichi says, Hola Ismael, soy nueva a tu canal. Gracias por todo tu trabajo. Did you know what? Oh, well, what she's saying is she's new to my channel. Thank you for all your work. And then she's, in English, she's saying, well, I welcome all my Spanish-speaking Galactic Jedis. A good portion of the Earth have, you know, Spanish-speaking countries, and welcome, welcome. Let's see. Do you know what central casting is? I've heard of it. I have heard Mr. T saying that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have heard of that term. And actually, you're inspiring me to actually research it and look into it. So central casting, I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you so much, Zuli, and welcome to my channel. Let's see. Some of you guys do love C.S. Lewis. Yes, he's an amazing writer. Blade Runner. I've never seen those. Ishmael, you planning to coming to the DMV area? Where is the DMV area? Mary Curry says she posted a super chat. I don't see it, Mary. I don't see it at all. So central, okay, Mark Home is saying central castings are hired actors. Okay, so central casting is, again, connected to the Cabal in some way or another. Pretty much is what you're saying, but I'm still going to look into it. All right, so central casting is an acting agency. Mr. T mentions it as a to say you're dealing with actors in mask. Okay, so that's pretty much, somebody just answered that. Thank you so much, Eurasia. Again, I'll repeat it again. She pretty much, I don't have to do the research anymore. Here it is. Central Casting is an acting agency that Mr. T mentions it as a to say you're dealing with actors in mask. Okay, that's a very fascinating way of revealing what's really going on. I'm so glad that somebody was able to put that out there. Thank you so much. And I want to welcome all 2,400 people in the house. Welcome, welcome. If you guys could all hit the like button, that would be great. I mean, if I had 2,400 likes right now, that would be super, all right? That would be super. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Adventures in the Free World is asking me if our pets will ascend, and the answer to that is yes. Yes, animals do go into the fifth dimensional reality. All species are ascending. We're still going to have trees. We're still going to have plants. We're still going to have animals. We're still going to have flowers. We're still going to have, you know, it's just going to be clean from all negativity. Okay, this is a good one. Ishmael, I heard from Gene Decode about instant travel years ago. What did he mean? Well, when we do activate the light body, by the way, not only are some of us going to be able to access telepathy and telekinesis, but some of us are going to be able to literally, just like an email, convert our physical body into pure light, pure energy, travel through the quantum field, or what they call the ethers, and then materialize at will. So that is known as instantaneous travel, or spontaneous traveling, or instant travel, I'm sorry. In other words, teleportation, to be exact. Yes, that's what Gene Decode was meaning. And that's also what Jesus Christ was saying when he says, not only will you do what I do, but you will also do greater things in me. And I think I mentioned this in the last live. Very, very good reminder. Thank you for sharing that. So yes, teleportation is also going to be something that a lot of us are going to be able to do. And the only way that's going to be possible is, again, we're going to be using our light body, because our light body, for those that have read our Cosmic Origin, is the trans vehicle, the original trans vehicle that was made for us before we inherited these physical bodies of flesh and blood, so that we can travel and traverse the different densities or the different dimensions. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Well, even within the realm of science, they're already exploring and experimenting with teleportation, you know? So, and within the private sector, guys, like I said, they've already perfected it, you know, where they literally created these things called jump rooms that are located geographically in certain key points, mainly hotels across the planet, where, you know, they would use these to access Mars colonies, the Lunar Operating Command Colony, the Vespa colony, the Jupiter command colonies. I mean, they literally had jump rooms, and they, you know, this is real, guys. This is part of the disclosure, right? So all of this stuff, you know, the thing is that the dark side has always depended on using external technology to create jump rooms so that they could teleport things from one planet to the next. Whereas the beings that were never disconnected from God, the higher dimensionals that maintain that symbiotic relationship with all living things, they'd use an internal technology. So basically, even the devices and the external technologies that are used by the negative aliens and the cabal to teleport things from one planet to the next is an all-natural technology that we are able to use when we're using the light body. So that should tell you guys that everything that we see in technology is something that we could do and better. Okay, in fact, the technology is the duplicate of the inner software, all right, of the inner software. Let's see. There are so many questions that are being thrown at me right now. I don't even know which one to pick. I'm going to try to find somebody that I've never picked before. All right? Let's see. Who am I going to find here that I've never picked before? All right. I don't think I've ever answered this person's question. Welcome, welcome. This is Old School Ways Ayote. Wow, you have a long YouTube name. Old School Ways Ayote. Dirty or Bush Crafting. What an interesting long name. Thank you for being here. Old School Ways. Let's just call you Old School Ways. Ishmael, are we going to need homes in the fifth dimension? Yes, again, things are going to still be physical in the fifth dimension. The difference between the fifth dimension and the three dimension is that in the fifth dimension, we have a perfect balance with our spirit. We're in perfect balance with our spirit. We're still physical, but less dense. And again, for some of us, we're going to be having superhuman abilities, okay? In fact, everyone that goes into the fifth dimension is going to have superhuman abilities. I had to correct myself. So yeah, the fifth dimension is going to be just like this one, but we're going to be using our full deck, okay? Our full capacity. When will HARP be taken out? This is a good question from Marion. I don't think I've ever answered your question. Where is he? You know, I can't find you, but okay, so to answer your question, HARP was already recuperated from the Cabal. It was taken by the Alliance from the Cabal years ago. What ended up happening was recently, back in December, last December, was it 2 months ago, 4 months ago, I'm sorry, 4 months ago, the Vatican conducted a ritual that opened up some portals that allowed a reconnection between other dimensional dark forces and the Cabal so that they could kind of develop the technology again after they were stripped from it from the White Hats before last December. So when that happened, you know, they were able to use it. They caused all the fires ever since then, including the LA fires. But just recently, the White Hats have also stripped the Cabal once again from messing with the weather. So HARP is no longer in the hands of the Cabal. It was intercepted for a few months, but it's now back in the hands of the Alliance. Will there still be struggles in 5D? This is a good question from Mars. Not like the way we see them here. No, it's going to be more of a cooperative type of system where everyone is doing their best to contribute to the collective whole, to the greater whole. There might be some little disagreements here and there, but because most people are going to be so highly spiritual, these disagreements and small and you know, a small conflicts, if you want to call them that, are going to be easily, you could say, resolved. That's the best way I'm saying. That's the best way to say it. Easily resolved, okay? So in the fifth dimension, due to the fact that we have a high level of Christ consciousness, everyone, it's very impossible to have conflict, and it's very impossible to have egos. So no, things are going to be much better. It's the polarity is going to be more of an equilibrium, more of a balance. Right now, the polarity is you know, one way is extreme, the other way is extreme, the other way. There's no in between. In the fifth dimension, the polarity is a perfect equilibrium. That's the best way to describe it. Perfect equilibrium. What are you doing, Athena?
Little angel in the sky. Oh, I like this. We're going to mimic your wings.
Yep.
Tiffany, Princess of Metaphysics. I'm wondering about, I'm sorry, this is from Paige. I'm wondering about how to find the right next step when it comes to a job. I get caught up in money issues and then worry I'll be miserable.
You know, and that's the big thing right there is there's money and there's what do I want to do? What brings me joy? What brings me bliss? And if we're just going for the money, you know, it's your goal is to find one that marries the two. You know, you can do what you love and you will make a decent amount. If you will do that, it may not be as much as you want at first, but I'm telling you, if you will do what you love, the money comes. So, and it follows and everything, or you do what you need to get by and then do something on the side that brings you all that joy and then gradually shift to it. I think that's what you did, isn't it, Tracy? You actually got over there to it.
But that was bringing me back to our original energy thing is there's a belief system going on there too,
Yes.
possibly, where,
Mhm.
oh, I'm looking for a job, but it doesn't pay to do the thing I love, so I have to do something I
Yeah.
don't care to do so that I can pay the bills. Those are belief systems. So
Absolutely.
check into that. And
Yeah, maybe believe that you can have the
I
job.
had them all.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know, I can do what I love and make the money I need to support myself doing what I love.
yeah, easily.
Easily,
Always
yes,
put
easily.
in there. You easily can do that. It's so easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good point because it's all based on your beliefs. What do
Yeah.
you believe? Because that goes out ahead of you and starts filtering your reality.
Yeah. Very, very true. Okay, well, I think we cover that one, or do we want to talk any
No,
more
that
on
sounds
that?
good.
Yeah, I think that's good. And good luck with
Segue.
the perfect job.
Yeah.
That was Paige. Good luck, Paige. We're all rooting for you to get that perfect job that you're going to love to wake up to.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful Tiffany up in the etherical realms of moderation. Moderator.
Moderation.
I mean, it made
Moderation
sense.
realms.
Moderator realm. Maybe that's how we need to say it. You try it.
Hi, Priestess Tiffany. This is from Juliet. When manifesting, I get caught up on the fact that it's a belief system and doubt comes in around such as, oh, it's just another belief system. Any advice accepting beliefs?
This is, I mean, I love this theme.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I think it's good to recognize that it is a belief system and that then you get to decide, do you want it?
Yeah.
Is it a good one? Because we create
Does it support you? Does it support what you want to do? Yeah.
and if it doesn't, how can you shift that belief around a little bit? So, yeah.
Reframe, you know, because you can do that. You can shift them. You can reword them. You can rework it. You can do all these things. We're not stuck in stone with our beliefs.
Yeah.
The beliefs come from our thoughts.
Yeah, so this is where affirmations could come in handy, I think, because sometimes it takes a little bit of rewiring that belief system, right? You're going to start affirming something different that's more desirable and do that often throughout the day so that you can create the new belief system.
Yep.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand because I can hear someone saying, yeah, but I do these affirmations, but if I don't believe it, then see how the one is creating the new belief, but then you need the belief to support it. So they do go hand in hand. So it's a matter of you desiring to shift that whole process.
Here's another question that I'd like to ask people. When you're working towards something, what's at risk if you actually get it? So whatever that manifestation is, or creation, like the job. Let's go back to, was it Paige with the job? What's at risk if you actually get the job that you love, that supports you? What's going to have to change?
Yeah.
And I know it seems like a silly question because people will be like, well, of course that would be amazing and awesome.
Yeah.
But something's changing there. And if you really look at it, then you might find that there's some fear around some of the change. That might be what's getting in the way.
Yes. Excellent point.
Yeah, I love that question because people go, what? Why would there be?
Yeah, it's like,
anything at risk?
I would want that. What's the deal? It's like, and it might be you have to change locations or you have to change friends or you have to change who knows what,